Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing all of my newborn essentials. It's kind of on the minimalist side as a mom of 3 who is currently expecting her 4th. So a few weeks ago, I did a video sharing the 15 things that I refuse to spend money on, things that I think are not necessary at all for your baby or to purchase, for your baby. So today I'll be sharing my top essentials, and as I said, I am a mom of 3. I have an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old, so this is not my first rodeo, okay? So I'm gonna get right into it. I thought about like having all of the things that I mentioned out around me to give you a visual, but as I thought more about it, I'm like, a lot of this stuff is packed away. So when I do like a nesting type video, I can just show you what they are or put them on the screen to give you a better visual of what I'm talking about. But we're going to get started. So babies don't require as much as many people think. There are many influencers now who are doing the Amazon baby registries, the must-haves, the minimalist list, and they're not minimalist. Right? So for me, I enjoy having things, but it's like some of these things are not necessary, especially when you don't have the finances to get them and you think that they're necessary but they're not. So yeah, this video is to help moms who are especially first-time moms or moms who are looking to do things a little bit differently, whether it's a budget-friendly way, whether it's the bare bone necessities and things of that nature. So let me find my list in my phone and get right into it. Keep in mind that my list is going to be different from other moms' essentials because every family is different, right? So I am a breastfeeding mom. I am a cloth diapering mom. So my essentials on my list is not going to look like anyone else, right? I always put that disclaimer out there because we do things differently. But if you could take something from this video, I want you to know that you don't need all the bells and whistles, okay? You don't need all the things. For one, it's going to lead to clutter, especially if you have multiple children like me. But for two, it's going to save you some money, okay? So my first newborn essential is going to be a carrier. And I know many people are like, okay, it could be either way, because let me just say, I did not baby wear with my firstborn. I started baby wearing the second time around, and then I especially did it with my son, who is the 3rd child. But I have found that carriers are a must, right? If you have a fussy baby, if you want to get things done around the house, if you want to go out with other children, be outside and not have to worry about people, looking at your car seat, trying to look at your stroller, keeping your baby calm and just bonding and getting things done. A carrier is the way to go, especially during the 4th trimester where your baby is still adjusting and they want to be close to you. They still want to hear your heartbeat and things of that nature. I have 2 kinds that I like, right? So I have 2 carriers. I have a newborn carrier. I think it's like by Ergo Baby. It's the Embrace, and I can put it on the screen, as well as the Lily Baby, which is a more structured carrier. I know many people like the fabric carriers. I have not tried those. I think I bought one and I was like, this seems complicated. But those are also a favorite. They like Moby wraps, and they're very inexpensive. So I may consider trying that one out just to see how it works. But I'm very content with the 2 that I currently have. All right, number two on my list of essentials is burp cloths. And when I mention burp cloths, I don't mean like the stylish kind, like the ones with designs or the embroidered ones. And nothing against the embroidered ones, because I love me a personalized keepsake, right? That was actually something I did as a business for years, and I love to embroider kids' names and monograms. But I'm talking about the muslin burp cloths, right? They come in white and all different colors, but they are an essential for me because they hold so much. Easy to wash, they're soft. I don't know, these are like my top of the top. Like, I need those, okay? So burp cloths, and they're not all created equal. They're not. Some are like the terry cloth, some are the muslin cloth, as I mentioned, which is still cotton, right? Some are like more of the waterproof type. So it's like they're not created equal. The ones that I'm speaking about are the muslin burp cloths. Number 3 on my list is a top essential, which we all know babies need diapers and wipes. And for me as a cloth diaper mom, I'm gonna say cloth diapers and wipes. Now I do a mixture, right? So the first month or so I do use disposable diapers, just to, you know, rest, recover, adjust, and not have to deal with the baby laundry, you know, the dirty diapers, the poop diapers, because I know for a fact that is not a job my husband wants to do, and I don't want to do either. Honestly, I don't. So I do disposables for like the first 2 or so weeks, and then we moved to cloth diapers. And I cloth diapered my son from, like, I had newborn diapers, so it had to be less than a month, all the way up until almost 2-ish, you know, when we started potty training. But an investment, well worth it. And I didn't really have to worry about going to the store every month and a half to get diapers and stuff. I do use a mix of cloth wipes and disposable wipes, because the cloth wipes does a great job at cleaning your baby, and they're like washable, right, reusable. And the goal for me was to save money, right, and also to know what I'm putting on my baby's bottom, like non-toxic things, right. But I also use disposable wipes because of the convenience, and I can use them for other things, like sticky face for my toddler, or to wipe up things, or when we're out and about and we have a poop diaper, I need to clean the changing pad, or things of that nature, right? So there's a use for both in our household, but I do prioritize the cloth diapers and cloth wipes, okay? Number 4 on my list is coconut oil. And I'm gonna say coconut oil is like the, I don't know, hold on. So yeah, as I was saying, number 4 on my list is coconut oil, and I use this for everything. Not only do I use it as a moisturizer for just the family, but I can use it for like cradle cap. I can use it as a protectant when I put on diapers, if I see a diaper rash coming up or something like that. I don't really buy a lot of lotions. I don't, because coconut oil is just my go-to. Like, I use it in my children's hair, especially when we're first starting off, as I said, to moisturize their body. Any sign of a diaper rash, just, you know, anything that goes on with them is coconut oil. So you don't have to buy the different lotions, the different creams, the different this, the different that. Coconut oil. I know everybody don't like it. Everybody does not like coconut oil, but for us, it has been working and there has been no problem. So I'm gonna say that. You can definitely save money instead of trying to figure out, you know, what formula to work, which one is gonna break them out, this and that, whatever. So number 5 on my list is feeding supplies. So as I said, I am a breastfeeding mom, plan to breastfeed baby number 4 as well. So I'm just going to say breastfeeding supplies, and that can look different from family to family, however you choose to breastfeed, whether you are exclusively breastfeeding, where your baby is like latching onto you, whether you are a full-time pumping mom, part-time pumping mom. Different supplies are needed for different reasons. So for me, I'm going to say my essentials for breastfeeding would be a manual breast pump. I love to have it on hand just in case, but I really don't use a manual breast pump anymore. I haven't had to the past 2 times I breastfed. Honestly, maybe use it once or twice, because I just don't pump just because. But I do have a Haka, so I do catch the letdown, and I do have breast milk storage bags, which I don't use a lot of. And some people use nipple butter for, you know, cracked nipples when you're breastfeeding. But for me, I've tried, again, like coconut oil or like breast milk. So breastfeeding supplies, whatever is essential to you, I'm going to say go with those, okay? All right, number 6 on my list is, of course, baby clothing. They have to have on something, right? So I'm not going to give you a list of, okay, you need X amount of onesies, X amount of slippers, don't get this, don't get that. In my other video, I kind of went into that, but for this video, I'm going to say baby clothing. And depending on the size of your baby, it would determine whether you need more newborn clothing or more 0 to 3 month, or you know, it just depends. And for me, I know the weight of my children, so I know what I should really, you know, purchase in the beginning. But it's all a guesstimate, right? It's a lot of sleeping, as I said, so yeah. But clothing, whatever you deem necessary, as babies do grow very, very quickly. So I recommend not going overboard. If this is your first child, I do know how it is. I wanted all of the things, all of the cute outfits, and I definitely did that. But as I started to add more children, I know that, okay, we can really make do with a few things and just watch them. So I'm not gonna take the fun out of, you know, buying, you know, more than necessary, especially if you went from having 2 girls to a boy like me. I want all the boy things. But yeah, clothing. Number 7 on my list is a diaper bag. And I love my diaper bag. I know most people, like when they start to have multiple children, they're like, we just use a regular backpack, or we don't even use a diaper bag. It's not necessary. But for me, I like a diaper bag. I really, really do. I like the different compartments on them. I like the storage. I like how they're made. I like the design. And I like having enough space, right? So usually I don't carry a purse. I don't really carry a purse at all, now that I think about it, because I've always had to have some type of diaper bag or have some type of diapers or wipes or change of clothing or something with me. So it's like, for me, it's a necessity. I think it's an essential. Whatever you can store your baby things in, or your things for yourself, it's a necessary, right? So hopefully I didn't lose count. Okay, number 8 on my list is going to be a car seat and stroller. And of course, this is a no-brainer, right? You have to have somewhere safe for them to sit and ride in, right? The car seat for the car, the stroller, of course, for going out, making things easier, whether you're attaching the car seat to that or they've outgrown that phase to where you just push them in the car seat. It's just a lot easier, especially for me as a mom who already has three kids. Field trips, a car seat is very, very much needed. If I'm not using a carrier, I'm not a car seat, y'all. A stroller on field trips is much needed, unless I'm baby wearing, but they begin to get a little heavy. So a stroller helps a whole lot, and it's very, very convenient for me. So I'm gonna say it's a necessity for me, both the car seat and the stroller. All right, number 9 on my list is a place for babies to sleep, and this is going to vary from family to family as well. For us, we are usually co-sleepers, but in the newborn phase, we do have, like, we invest in the pack and plays that has the changing table on there with the changing pad, as well as the little bassinet in there. So not only can they sleep in there as well, but I can change them, and it's portable. So, you know, when you need to take the pack and play somewhere else, you can. And I said this is for the newborn phase. The first few months is what we utilize it for. But ultimately, since I'm an exclusively breastfeeding mom, co-sleeping works best for us. You know, we've done it with all of our kids. So just a safe place to sleep. For you, it could be a bassinet, a crib, you know, whatever. They just need somewhere to sleep. All right. So number 10 for me on my list. Number 10 for me on my list is going to be a thermometer. And this is important because in the beginning days, we do want to monitor how well the baby is regulating their temperature. We want to check for like fevers and things of that nature. And it's just important to have on hand. You just never know when you're going to need to check your baby's temperature. And it's just one of those things that you just keep. You know, you can use it depending on what kind it is. You can use the one that's for the whole family. You can use the baby only ones, right? They have the rectal thermometers, the ones that go under the arm, under the tongue, the forehead kind. It's so many different kind of thermometers, but I would say keep one on hand. And in the beginning, they're gonna want you to use the rectal one. So just add that to your list if you're making a registry. Number 11 on my list is a portable changing pad. I know this one may be a little bit unnecessary for some, because you can use like a blanket when you're changing your baby. You can use a number of things, but for me, I would say I love to use and invest in a portable changing pad, because not only can I use it at home, right? Say for instance, I'm changing diapers on the couch or in somebody's room or on our bed, right? I can use that portable change pad, especially when it's a number 2 diaper, right? But also when you're out and about, when you're in the public areas, the restrooms, or when you have to change your baby on your lap, right? It happens. Or changing your baby in your car and you don't have anything else on hand. I think it's an essential because it's a way to keep things sanitary. It's a way to provide a protective barrier, especially on surfaces like in public areas. So love me a changing pad. Love me a good changing pad. I have more than one. I want to say I have 2 or 3 currently, but usually one always comes with your diaper bag, depending on what kind you get, and then you can always buy an additional one for a pretty decent price, right? So yeah, that's an essential for me. And then the last thing that I have on my list is a breastfeeding pillow. And this is another one that people may consider not an essential, but for me, as for me, I've used a breastfeeding pillow for each of my children. I've gone through different kinds. I started off with the Boppy, then I really transitioned to the My Breast Friend pillow, which I absolutely love, and that's the one I'm using this time as well. But for me, breastfeeding definitely affects your posture. Especially in the newborn phase when your baby's so tiny and you're trying to figure out how you need to lean over to get them to latch, and you know, it's a lot of like posture stuff. So you can have a breastfeeding pillow where you can sit them down and you can still have back support, which is very, very important in the beginning for your pelvic floor and the healing. And being that I'm going through like pelvic floor therapy now, I'm like, I definitely need a pillow with that lumbar support, the back support. And the one that I'm looking at and going with, it does offer that. So for me, it's an essential. Not only can most of breastfeeding pillows be used to breastfeed, but when the baby is older, you can use it for like tummy time, to help them sit assisted, you know, when they first start to kind of sit up. So it's multi-use. Some of them are very, very pricey. But for me, I tried the regular pillow method, you know, taking pillows off your bed or couch pillows to breastfeed, and it just didn't work. I don't know if it's because of my size or what, but those are all the things that I consider essentials. Of course, I have other things that I like to use, but if I say, okay, these are the bare bone minimum things that you need to purchase for your baby, those are all the things I would recommend. Now, depending on what season you have your baby in, of course, I would say, you know, in the winter time they need you know, a hat, or you know, jackets or cardigans, whatever. In the summertime they may not need those things, so I didn't include those things as essentials because it's going to vary season to season, and most of this stuff still will fall under clothing, right? But yeah, let me know if this is your first time having a child, if you're a first time mom, or if you are an experienced mom. Let me know what your essentials are, and if I missed anything on this list, comment below, because we want all the moms who are tuning into this video to get exactly what they need, right? So I try to keep it to the bare bone minimum. This is what you need, like to keep it simple, to save you a ton of money. But yeah, if you have not checked out my video on the things that I've refused to spend money on when it comes to a baby, check that out. But yeah, that's all I got in this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.